take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. It's time!
It's Wednesday, September 16th, 2020. This is the Church of MMA podcast. I am Tabor Cragen.
And my name is Mason Knight. This is episode 37, Waterson versus Hill recap. After that, we jump into some MMA news, and then we jump into our preview show, the Covington versus Woodley fight night. And man, I cannot wait for that. That is going to be something special. That card is just shaping up to be just phenomenal.
And the most stacked fight night I think I've ever seen, really.
Seriously.
In one of them.
Yeah.
So, like, it's built like a pay-per-view.
I'm so stoked for that.
Yeah. So before we start any of that stuff, I got to give a huge shout out to our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the Church of MMA. Guys, if you haven't followed us already, go and do it. We are posting funny memes. We are making you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Absolutely. And a big announcement too.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about this last week, how we really wanted to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. Well, we're at 107 right now.
Yeah,
we had a
thank you
big
so
bump
much
on our YouTube channel. So big shout out to all you guys listening and watching. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, guys, this is Wednesday. Normally we release our podcast on Monday, and I got to apologize for that. It was a fantastic weekend for the fight and MMA community, but it was a bad one for me. My dog got hit by a car Saturday right before the main event, so it fucked me up for a couple of days, but we're here and it's happening and I'm much better and I'd appreciate the love. Thank you. This is how we got to start. Waterson and Hill. I just said it was a fantastic main event, and it really was a fantastic weekend.
It was a great fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a great fight, great card overall. I mean, the way these girls just went to war for fucking 5 rounds.
Well, in what not even a back and forth battle necessarily, but if you're talking in an overall spectrum of 5 rounds, man, 2-2 and then 1. That's how I saw it. How did you score this?
Oh, absolutely. 2-2-1.
Yeah.
And the 5th round was so close. I mean, that was the big debate online. So many people are saying Angela Hill won. So many people are saying, no, Waterson scratched out that 5th. When I watched it the first time, and I guess the only time, I kind of rewatched the 5th round. I kind of got distracted the second time. But Michelle, I did think edged it out at first. You know, but I hear every argument people making for Hill, because the end of the 5th, dude, she was turning it on.
Yeah. Absolutely. And this is one for me where the word robbery gets thrown out there a lot. Not the case here. You know, obviously this fight for me went into the 5th round, unquestionably. And I thought the 5th was just such a fun and beautifully performed fight from both of these ladies. And, you know, at the end of the day, Michelle Waterson got her hand raised. But it's so close that, you know, it's kind of a coin flip here. Yeah. And I'm happy for Michelle. She needed this win coming off 2 straight losses.
Yeah, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer, better person. Of course. Really. I mean, but at the same time, you got to feel for Angela Hill.
Well, and then you got that Claudia. Now she's on a 2-fight skid.
Back-to-back splits, I think, right?
Back-to-back splits. Fuck. And, dude, she did not lose to Claudia Gadelha, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
She didn't. She did not lose that fight. I couldn't believe that. And then she loses a close one here. And on my scorecard, it was real close, too.
Yeah.
I can't even say I had a definite winner.
Yeah.
Because it was such a close fight.
And we say it over and over again, especially on this podcast.
Yeah.
We need more draws, guys. You could give that 5th a 10-10.
You could have. Yep.
Easily. I mean, I don't know if they do 9-9s, but, like, that's a 10-10 in my opinion. Yeah. Like, it's a draw. You know, either remake the fight or Michelle probably might not take it. Who knows? It was just such a great fight. I don't think either girl's stock goes down.
No, absolutely not.
They can't. And even Dana White said that after the fight.
Yeah.
So
when I think, and we talk about this a lot too on the podcast, how there needs to be more draws. And I think this is the one sport specifically where we need that.
Yeah.
We need more draws, because one loss in someone's career could potentially set you back anywhere from 12 months to 24 months, you know, up to 2 years, one loss.
Yeah.
So, and I think with these kind of fights, and you know, obviously, as you said, the stock doesn't go down for either one of these ladies.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, a loss does suck on your record, especially for Angela Hill, who's now coming off 2 straight split decision losses.
Yeah. It's got to be rough.
It does. But you know what? Dana White's also got to see this and go, okay, this girl's here to fight. She's ready to go. And she's still, to me, is a top 10 fighter in this division. And I hope Dana keeps throwing her to these savages, because she's definitely shaping up to be that.
Oh, so. Dude, give Angela Hill a top 5 girl. I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Coming off 2 losses,
it doesn't
it's hard
matter.
I know.
You're gonna give Jose Aldo a title shot. Like, come on,
I know,
guys.
right?
Numbers don't matter no more. It's all about hype, and Angela Hill's got the fucking hype.
Well, she's a yes woman too,
Yes.
man. I mean, that's what it's yes. I want to fight. She fights 3-4 times a year easily.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just who she is, you know, and she loves doing it.
Was this her 4th or was this her 5th fight this year?
It was 4 or 5.
It's got to be one.
At least her 4th.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, I feel like I see her every other month on a card. I'm just like, oh, Angela Hill again. And that's one thing with Angela Hill too, is her fights are always so much fun and entertaining to watch too. She's a fun fighter. So again, as you said earlier, I don't think her stock goes down much. Even coming off 2 straight losses, she's fun. She's entertaining. Let's see her fight again.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, who do we match these girls up with? I mean, you could go anybody. I mean, Michelle, she's just one of these big names, and she's already fought so many of the top girls. It's like maybe a Yan Zhao Nan. I mean, I think she's fighting soon, actually. So this whole strawweight, I'm going to say this every time we talk about these strawweights. This is my favorite women's division.
Oh, yeah,
This is
absolutely,
absolutely the most developed women's division. It's the most stacked women's division. The fucking murderer's row that is the top 15 of the UFC women's strawweight division. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Did you see this? Did you see Angela Hill? And not to get off topic here, but Angela Hill called out Claudia Gadelha again after that fight.
Yes. Well, Claudia was talking shit.
Which I don't know how you talk shit when you didn't win that fight.
She knows it.
They were in Brazil for that fight, were they not?
Oh, I don't know. I think that was an Apex fight a Fight Island fight or a Jacksonville. I think.
I feel like I watched that at your house, at your place, didn't I? Anyway, nonetheless, I really don't think she won that fight, man.
No. And Nina Ansaroff, like, she's still top 5 right now, but we see the Instagram videos of her twerking and shit. She's got that big old baby belly, so she ain't fighting anytime soon. I'm not gonna lie. This probably doesn't get made. I'm sure it doesn't, but I really kind of want to see that Michelle Waterson, Carla Esparza fight over again, just because I did think she kind of got robbed in that fight, but who knows? Joanna's going to need a fight. Joanna's calling for that next title shot. Who knows if that's happening? Jessica Andrade is moving up. What's going on with Tatiana Suarez? I see her training, but she doesn't have any fights.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I know she's coming off an injury, but she's been out a very long time. I think it's been a year and a half or something like that. She's going to need a fight, and I really think you could put either one of those girls up against her, and it'd be well-deserving. So it's only looking good for this division. It really is, and the future's looking great as well. So I did take Michelle Waterson. I took her 4th round sub, so that was a point for me.
I picked Angela Hill decision, so no points there.
Okay.
I got like 2 points this whole card. We'll get to why. Yeah, we'll get to why later on, and then everyone's gonna see my freaking head explode on this podcast because every time there's controversy, anytime there's a fight, I'm on the wrong end of it and you're on the right end of it, and you get 3 points out of it. It's like it's not bad enough that you might get 1 point. No, you get 3 points on my 3 points, so it becomes a 6-point swing. So I'm fucking over this scoring system. I'm over bad officiating. I'm over bad judges. I'm over it. I actually texted you right after, and I said I am officially announcing my retirement from this podcast after that fight. I couldn't believe it. We'll talk about it later.
No, dude, the way we're fired up, we're talking about it right fucking now.
Let's just do it. To hell with it.
Ed Herman,
Mike Rodriguez. I had Mike Rodriguez 2nd round KO, and you know what? Again, I love Ed Herman. He's a local boy. Like, how do you not love Ed?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
I love him, but I saw this fight going, Mike Rodriguez, 2nd round KO. You got to pick someone. And I'm like 75 points behind you or something like that. I could have used those 3 points, damn it. And I see Ed Herman go down, and I'm like, sweet, 3 points.
Oh, no.
He says he got hit in the nuts.
So we got to talk about the ref.
We got to talk about the controversy, too. I can't believe this.
I should say this first. Ed Herman, if you're listening, you're probably not. You never will.
He definitely not. No fighter is listening to this podcast, I guarantee you. No. Okay, not a chance in hell. And they never will. They never will.
You never know. You never know. I know the guy. I know a guy who knows the guy. We can get him on.
True.
Fuck it. We'll try.
Hey, why not?
Hey, Ed, You won that fight, baby. You got that Kimura.
Hey, he did win the fight. On the books, he won the fight, but there is controversy surrounding this. Absolutely.
And bro, let's be real. You didn't get hit in the dick. Like,
no, well, and he knew that too. In the post-fight speech, he was like,
he
I got
was
hit
playing
somewhere.
it
I wasn't quite sure. And he's like, I'll have to go back
it.
and watch the tapes. And I was like, yeah.
He knew it. He knew it.
But I mean, here's the thing. What else are you going to do as a fighter?
Absolutely.
What else
you
are you
can't
going to do?
You can't blame the guy. That's 100% on that ref.
Right.
And in reality, you almost can't even blame the ref because he thought he got hit in the nuts.
Yeah, he did. The ref didn't have the greatest
couldn't really
angle.
see.
Yeah, he had Mike Rodriguez's back, so he didn't see where that knee landed. And I definitely lay the blame on the referee because it's the same scenarios. You watch the NBA, you watch the NFL. If there's a holding call in the NFL, a player's not going to be and own up and be like, "Oh no, I didn't hold there."
Yeah.
Or no, he didn't hold me there. Same thing with basketball. He's not going to say, "Oh, he didn't foul me."
Yeah.
You're going to take the call. So I'm not blaming Ed Herman. I mean, you don't want to lose a fight. But at the same time, it's just like, oh God, it was just frustrating.
And to fucking come back, and in the third to get the Kimura like that.
Yeah, dude, I gotta say, super impressed. Oh, super impressed,
bro. Me and my dad, because my dad fucking just because he's the only UFC fighter he knows because he's met him once at a party. Like we know a guy who knows guys, and so he was freaking out. I was freaking out when it happened. We were jumping up and down. It was crazy. It was the highest of highs when that happened, and it was just. I felt for Rodriguez. I really did. But so did Dana White.
Well,
and he gave him his win bonus.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Shout out Dana White for that because
cool.
That's really cool of him.
Well, and those are one of those rare scenarios in cases where doing that is the right thing to do. So good on Dana.
Absolutely. So I took Ed Herman.
You did?
Third round KO. Give me 2 points. I'll take it.
Yeah, 2 points. Okay, well, fuck you, because that's a 5-point swing my way. And I picked I picked Mike Rodriguez, second round KO. Yep. I get 0 points for that one. So
the second I saw that happen, I just knew.
I know,
right before you even texted me, I was like, oh.
Well, here's the thing: you texted me before I saw it too, and then I looked at my phone and I go, oh, he's messing with me. There's no way. I'm watching it live, but I must have been like 5 seconds behind you, and then I see him put him in a Kimura, and I'm like. Bro, come on. No, there's no way he's pulling this off. There's no way. And then he passes it. He steps over, and I go, oh, that's in deep. He's in trouble.
Yeah, dude. That was bad.
It was
must
a
have
beautiful
hurt like
submission,
a motherfucker,
man. It was,
dude.
Yo, absolutely. Yeah, it was beautiful submission. But, man, when he tapped, I was just like, oh, my God. Yeah. I'm retiring. I'm never doing this podcast again.
I was almost waiting for the Nogueira moment of his fucking arm to snap, of his shoulder to give out. Like, I was waiting for it.
It was close.
It was really close. Anyway. It was really farly extended. So shout out Ed Herman, dude. Way to pull out the fucking win in the third after almost getting finished. That was just absolutely crazy. Even though a lot of people are talking shit about it. A lot.
Yeah. And again, it's not Ed Herman's fault. Like it is what it is. It's
Yeah, it is.
More on the referee.
Yeah. So to co-main event of the evening, Ottman, Zaitar, and Kama Worthy. Oh my goodness!
If you didn't know who Ottman Odzar is, or Odzar, now you do.
Yeah, now you know.
Now you know.
For sure. Because, dude, one-punch knockout power at 155, I don't want to say that's rare because we have seen guys at lightweight have that kind of knockout power.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, it seems like he's got another level above that. Like, dude, one touch is all it really takes with this. It's Justin Gaethje-esque, I would say now. Yeah. It's very, very strong. And he's just he's kind of scary. Like, dude just gets in the fucking pocket and just wants to throw. Like, that doesn't usually go well very long, especially when you're fighting these upper echelon, top-tier lightweights. We'll see with the future, because if he continues to fight like this and gets the results he's getting, which is first-round KOs, man, dude, people are going to be very up on this guy.
Yeah, and, rightfully so. You deserve to be up on guys who are like this. But, so often we see in people's careers, and this is what I'm so concerned with, and we'll talk about it later, but Chimaev and people like Johnny Walker, is they go out there and they dominate in the first round. But, man, it's a different story some cases when they start getting taken into the murky waters.
Yep.
And we haven't seen him in the murky waters yet, man. In that third round when it's, a dog fight.
Mm-hmm. Or even a grappling match.
But for right now, super entertaining, fun, dynamic, powerful. And that's what we want to see, and that's what's fun. And he was jacked and hyped up about getting that win. And it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, I felt like everyone knew someone was going to sleep in this fight because when you just got two power strikers that just want to bang and want to put you to sleep, usually these fights don't last long. Like, it's either a dogfight fucking war or it's like someone goes to sleep soon. And I am so glad I took a Zaitar because he's really an unknown guy. Like, no one knew who he was until he made his debut in Abu Dhabi at the Khabib Poirier fight. And it's been a while since then. So,
it has.
You know, hopefully he fights.
What was that, 242?
Yeah.
So
it has been a long time.
That was a long time ago.
Last September. Jesus. So, yeah, a year. A year in between fights. So, hopefully he gets a little more active. I'd love to see him fight some upper echelon opponents. So, I did take him first round KO. That was 3 points for me.
Yeah, I took Kamaworthy. I don't remember what, but I didn't win that one either.
Yeah, that was a third round sub.
Third round sub. Yeah.
So,
it's just weird. Weird I went third round sub there. I must have been drunk.
Well, he's had subs.
He has. He has. I mean, he just submitted, Luis Pena.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, Roxanne, Modafferi, Andrea Lee. So, this fight, I really wish I would have went back and watched it because I don't really remember it all too well. But I do remember thinking Roxanne securely won. I mean, she did get the takedown in the second. Was that the only takedown in the whole fight? Because I feel like she had another in the third. I cannot remember if she did or not.
Oh man, it's a little foggy. I mean, we're 10 days off this card now, so it's
I should have rewatched it. Either way, it doesn't really matter. But Roxanne, I did believe it was pretty unanimous that Andrea won the first, and then Roxanne was finding a way to get more successful strikes in the third, especially. But when she got that takedown in the second, it really was a whole other level of grappling.
She's just one of those fighters that just never goes away.
Yes.
You know, you never count Roxanne Modafferi out.
Yes.
Never. Never. And we had talked about that in the last episode, but it is so true, man.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just she's a dog. She's
Yeah,
a dog,
she is.
man.
And
I mean that as a complete compliment, but like she doesn't go away. She's tough. She's tough, durable.
If she was a dog, she'd be like a German Shepherd. Like super loyal and nice and loving, but if fucking that switch flips and then you're a fucking killer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what she is to me. Like, she's the nicest savage in the entire world. The happy warrior, you know? It's just, that's her name. I love this fight. I really did. I wish I would have remembered it more because how do you love a fight you don't remember? But I did. I was super entertained during it. I just wish I could remember for some reason. For some reason, it's just completely blanking. But I did take Roxanne UD, so that was another 3 points.
I predict these things.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to keep that going here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I missed it for the other 3 times. So
No, you don't have to do it every time, but I did appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. I had to get it at least one for you. I am responsible for the soundboard, and I do a shite job at it. So I'm just tearing myself apart today at this point.
Man.
Oh, let's talk about this fight, man.
This fight was great.
Bobby Green.
Was that on the main card?
No. I don't believe it was on the main card, but nonetheless, we got to talk about it.
It was a great fight. Yeah.
No, it was on the main card, wasn't it? It was the first fight.
Let's talk about him either way because it was great.
Yeah, it was an awesome performance. Let's talk about Bobby Green for a minute here because he had 1 win in 5 years, and now in the last 85 days or 95 days, whatever it is within that 10-day range, he has won 3 times.
Yeah.
3 straight times, man.
Yeah.
He's at a resurgence in his career, and he looks better than ever.
Yes.
He looks better than ever.
Yes. And
like,
I remember
I'm stoked on Bobby Green right now.
Yeah, a year ago, I remember seeing on his Instagram, he was talking about retiring a year or 2 ago. And I was like, dude, people love you. Like, you're not that old, but you're considered like an OG. It's like, it's kind of weird, but he's considered an OG. And everyone loves this guy. He's got a huge following. I don't know if he's gotten the best matchups. And especially now, he's getting great ones and winnable fights. But it's like, can we get a good matchup that's not just throwing Bobby to the wolves right off the bat?
Right.
You know, can we get him maybe a
but
top
Alan
20 guy?
wasn't a bad guy.
No, and that was
his
a big
record
test.
Was 15-2. That was a big test.
That was a big test. And Bobby
he dominated all 3 rounds.
Passed with flying colors.
With flying colors.
And the grappling impressed me as well.
Absolutely, man.
You know, he had great top pressure, which is shocking because I always thought Bobby Green was just a guy that wanted to go and throw. But holy shit, his wrestling impressed me. His top pressure impressed me. His ground control impressed me. I really like this guy. Even his message after the fight. Like, his message after the fight impressed me. And it has the last couple of fights. Like, you know, the guy's just awesome.
Yeah, he pulls up his dad. And he's a genuine, true blue guy, man.
Yeah.
You know? But let's talk about Bobby Green. And let's let's talk. Do we think he is ready for a top 15 opponent in the lightweight division?
I think he's, yeah. I mean, it just depends because lightweight is one of these divisions that is so stacked. It's just very hard to even break into that top 15.
So let me put things in perspective for you. Do you think a guy in Bobby Green, and I know he's got a fight, and we're going to talk about it this week, so I'm not saying as a matchup, but do you think a guy like Bobby Green could compete with a guy like Donald Cowboy Cerrone?
Oh, absolutely.
And I use that as a obviously, right? Donald Cerrone's 14. Let's throw him someone. You got Drew Dober, Gregor Gillespie sitting at 13, Islam Makhachev at 12, Beneil Dariush.
That fight I like, actually. You know what? Why not? That fight I like, actually, because Beneil's not scared to fucking stand and trade. We've seen that in his last couple fights.
Absolutely.
He's KO'd people, flatlined them.
Spinning back fist was
crazy.
wild.
And the left hook when he fucking flatlined, what's his name? I can't remember. Either way, it's crazy. I would love that matchup.
Oh, I know.
I'd love that matchup. Ally Quinta. Ally Quinta hasn't
would be
fought in
great.
a long time. Since that, I think that Dan Hooker loss.
Yep.
So I don't think he's even fought in 2020. Why not? Paul Felder, even that. You know, there's so many great matchups.
Well,
you
yeah,
could
that
do.
might be a little high right now.
Yeah,
give
but-
him at least one guy in the top or in the 10 to 15 range, and then give him a guy like Paul, because Paul Felder's not going to take that fight. Paul Felder has literally said multiple times he wants to fight for a belt. He doesn't want to go below him. He wants to go above, and that's who Paul is. You know,
If I was Bobby, the only
Yeah,
name I would avoid is Gregor.
Gillespie.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's the only
yeah.
one. And maybe Islam.
But
Islam.
I mean, Kevin knocked him out not too long ago.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's still a tough fight.
that's a
It's a
rough
tough
fight.
yeah.
That's testing your shit. Yeah, I mean, there's so many great matchups in this lightweight division, even outside the top 15. You could really match him up with anybody, dude. I mean, he was even calling out. He was calling out. He really wants this fight too, and I know it's never gonna happen, but he wants to move up to 170 just to fight Mike Perry.
I'd like that actually.
I would too.
I
dude.
actually
would
like
love
that a
fight.
lot.
I would love that
Bobby
fight.
Green wants to fight him. Mm-hmm. I'm on board for that one.
The reasoning is because he says, I can't believe people were just letting him get away with saying the N-word. He goes, somebody's got to punk him, and I'm going to be the guy. He says, I have to move up and be it. So I was like,
Well, that's understandable.
oh, I get it.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
I get it. All right. So what was the last fight? Billy Q.
Yeah, Billy
versus
Q.
Kyle Nelson. Ooh.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, this Billy Q, this Corntillo, he is just he blows me away, honestly.
Dude, the cardio is
I
unreal.
think that's the key here, man. Is his cardio is just through the roof. I mean, I don't think a lot of guys can keep up with his pace. It's just it's insane. And when you think he's going to start getting tired, he doesn't get tired.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell? How are you still going?
Yeah, and you think, oh, this guy probably doesn't have knockout power, and then he fucking knocks you. Like, damn, I'm so impressed with this guy. His striking looks great. He's so well-rounded. His jiu-jitsu looks great. Dude, I'm very high on Billy Q. I mean, after he fucked up Spike Carlisle and now this with Kyle Nelson at featherweight, dude, this featherweight division is just, like, once again, like, these divisions are getting so stacked nowadays. It's just,
dude,
it's unreal.
When I think, we're having fights every week, we're having more contenders coming into this organization, and it's just it's the best of the best, man. I mean, we've never seen a time like this in MMA history.
Yeah, it's blown me the way the level of competition that's coming into the UFC and making their debuts. Like, the level of competition that people are debuting at is just, it's mind-blowing because there's world-class competition out there that the UFC hasn't even signed yet. And every time we get one of these new up-and-coming guys, it's like we're just shocked by how fucking good some of the level of talent is. It's just, it's crazy, and it just makes me so excited.
It is. I mean, let's put things in perspective here. Chimaev was in. We're going to talk about him. I'm really hyped on this guy, but Chimaev. He was introduced to the UFC less than 2 years ago, almost less than a year and a half ago. So it's like, and now he goes out there and beats Mershart.
Chimaev just got introduced last month, 2 months ago.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
that's
his UFC
right.
debut was Fight Island.
Yeah, that's right.
fought twice.
In Abu Dhabi. Yeah. So what I'm saying though, that even makes my point even more. Yeah, good point. But he's gonna go fight Damian Maia if he beats Mershart.
Crazy.
That's insane. He's going to be a top contender in less than 6 months. That's just wild.
in 4 fights.
Yeah.
Crazy. In 2 different
Insane.
divisions, really. It's honestly, it's wild. And I'm Billy Q. He looked great. Once again, like the featherweight division, there's so many fucking names. There's just so many names. You probably don't give him a top 15 guy right off the bat. He's only have 2 UFC wins. But, this division, it's one of these divisions, like, it's so easy to build your name. because there's so many guys, especially big names in this featherweight division. So I'm very hyped for this guy's future. So I did take him second round sub. So that was one fight. And yes, guys, I did get every fucking fight right.
I predict these things.
Thank you.
And this is what I have to say.
This is number one bullshit.
Yes, it is, Habib.
Why am I not making 5-5
I know,
parlays?
no kidding, right? Seriously, you would have made good money. So, two little quick shout outs. One, Jalen Turner really put it on Brock Weaver. He looked just phenomenal. I mean, he even let Brock stand up at one point, just incredible. Wanted to give him a quick shout out. And then Kevin Kroom coming out against Roosevelt Roberts and getting the sub in 31 seconds.
Yeah, after cracking him. Wow. One cracked him once, fucking slumped, and just, you give up your neck with a guy like that, it's done.
It's
done.
over. I mean,
Especially when
before
you're
you guys
dry.
start sweating. Yeah, exactly. Before you start sweating and everything, nope. It's lights out. And that's exactly what happened. Wanted to give those two a little quick shout out. So,
yeah, absolutely. Kevin Kroom, what, did you say 1 day notice? Did you say that?
Yeah, 1 or 2 day notice. Yeah,
crazy.
It was like UFC debut, like couple day notice.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And fighting Roosevelt Roberts, a savage that's in a weight class above you. Yeah. So it's just huge.
Super
shout
impressive.
out to that guy. Super impressive.
Sign him, Dana.
Absolutely.
I mean, how do you not?
Absolutely.
How do you not know?
All right, MMA news time, Mason. Holy shit, a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, we got a lot in this MMA news, and we could almost break this down into a podcast itself, a whole episode. Goodness gracious.
Yes.
But we got to start with the biggest one, Tabor.
Oh, the biggest one. Holy shit. And I wasn't shocked. I mean, we're kind of going to talk shit, maybe. I mean, I'd love to know your take, but Conor McGregor is back in the news, not for good things. He got arrested.
Hold on. I'm going to, let's rewind.
Before.
Is Conor McGregor these days ever in the news for something good he did? Like, Conor McGregor headline. Conor McGregor goes to the orphanage and does good work for the children.
You know what? Actually,
you see that?
Actually,
No, I don't see
I one time,
Okay.
I think he donates to firefighters.
All right. Well, good for him.
Something like
I'm
that,
sure
yeah.
Stipe likes him. But other than that, like, do you ever see Conor in the news other for being Conor? Yeah, being Conor. And,
Honestly.
Sexually assaulting women and indecent exposure. This is becoming a theme here.
Yeah.
There's only so many allegations before you got to go, hey, you know what, dude? Like, everyone sees that you're full of shit.
Yeah.
You're full of shit. Like, this just can't keep happening. This can't keep continuing to happen. It's just, it's gross, man.
Yeah.
You need to change. Like, I don't give a fuck if you got 200 million. I don't care if you have $5 billion. Like, dude, if you keep doing this to women, like, you're a pig. Like, knock it off.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to know if it's
dude.
fucking true or not. Because it's like, we live in a fucking charged time right now.
We do.
You know, I mean,
and that's why I try to stay off like Facebook and
Yeah.
politics. And I stay the fuck away from it, dude. Because it's just like, it's so negative and it can affect your day. And So,
And I mean, and without getting too political, in a post Me Too world, it's like, I've seen dudes getting fucking sexual assault allegations for bad dates and shit. Like, it's gone fucking super far. But I just, like you said, there's so fucking many different places. It's like, Conor, you're making it hard for me to want to go innocent until proven guilty. But it's like, fuck, man.
Right.
It's like, we can't defend this shit.
Well, you also have to look at the character of someone.
Yes,
too.
and that doesn't help him.
No.
The Habib fucking conference, the press conference, he was hyped up on cocaine. I swear to God, he was.
I mean, like, allegedly. We have to say allegedly. But, I mean, dude.
He had to have been.
He had all the symptoms of it.
Yes.
I mean, goodness gracious. Like, if you didn't see he was hyped up on some sort of upper, then you're pretty crazy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, in the fucking, I'm sure the cocaine-fueled fucking bus incident, the private plane ride, 16-hour plane ride to New York City, and no one went,
Not one friend was like, oh,
maybe
that's
we
a bad
shouldn't
idea.
do this.
Yeah.
No.
Terrible friends.
He's one of these elitists that I fucking hate because they think they're above the law, and there's so many people like that nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
So many people like that, and it's if this is true, if all these allegations are true, fuck Conor, get him out of the MMA community, and throw this fucker in jail. But if it's not, I feel for the guy because he's losing his mind on Twitter right now. He's vehemently denying it. He was talking about suicide. Did you see the deleted tweets?
I didn't know. I didn't see any of it.
I don't want to read them. It's just like he's just freaking the fuck out, saying how he pretty much laid out every accusation, said they're all bullshit. People are attacking his character, trying to get his money, trying to drag him down. He's not gonna. He said people want me to kill myself. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if he's going crazy or what.
And I get
but it's
that.
not good.
And I get that, and I understand that. But at the same time, look, when you're such a big figure, when you're worth so much money, and you realize, okay, let's hypothetically say that all these allegations are false, right?
Yeah.
When you're that big of a figure, don't put yourself in those situations.
Yes.
Don't be in a room privately with a female. Isn't he married?
Yes.
Okay. And whatever. If his wife wants an open relationship, I'm not trying to get into the weeds here. But look, dude, don't put yourself in situations. Don't, go and sleep with girls and do this and that because everyone wants your money. Stay away from that to where there are no allegations being thrown your way.
So what is it? It's like 2 or 3 sexual assault allegations. Now this indecent exposure in France, which he was actually arrested for and questioned.
Yes.
So I don't know if that means you're guilty or not, but I mean, they at least questioned him. But, and what else? The baby, the DNA test, they said some lady came out and said, hey, I have Connor's baby, and that was a huge fucking thing. There's just too many.
Right.
You have too many controversies, my guy.
You know what? I'm not a lawyer. I am not sitting here saying Connor is guilty, nor am I saying he's innocent.
Me
because
neither.
you know what? I don't know the facts of these I don't know the facts of this case or anything, but it is news. We got to talk about it, and it is what it is, But if they're true, you know what? Something needs to be done, period. End of discussion.
He doesn't need to be fighting. He doesn't need to be fighting.
He's
he
got
needs
too
to get
much
his
shit going on.
He needs to get his fucking life together.
he does.
And it's like, dude, you could be a billionaire. Like your
Easily.
brand, you could easily be a billionaire
He
one day.
knows how to brand himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Easily.
Unquestionably. He's a smart guy.
You're
super smart.
fucking this up.
Yeah.
Generations of wealth, bro. You're fucking this up royally, and you need to get your shit together. And I can't believe a guy like me, a guy like me has to say that. Like, all right, guy,
exactly.
come on, bro. Yeah. It's just,
It's just the Connor factor, man.
It really is.
It's one of those things where who knows? I'm kind of done talking about Connor.
I really am as well, dude. Everything is so negative around this guy.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sick. I'm sick of him. I really am.
Yeah.
All right. Dustin Poirier. More bad news. More bad news.
Damn, dude. Is this all this MMA news just bad? I'm actually, let's just turn this, let's just stop.
It's been a dark week. Yeah. Dustin Poirier versus Tony Ferguson it's officially off, I guess.
Hey.
The negotiations went sour. Dustin's asking for more money, I guess. So.
Which
I understand, and he deserves it. He deserves it 100%. But you got to realize, dude, John fucking Jones didn't get more money.
I know.
What makes you think you're going to? And I love you. Like, I'm your number one fan, Dustin. Like, you're fucking...
I love Dustin. I love
you.
Tony. I love both of these.
Seriously.
Guys,
I want this fight.
And Tony even tried to help. He said, hey, Dana, take some of mine. Pay the man. Pay the man. I don't need money. And that's why I fucking love Tony,
the guy.
Man.
He just wants to fight. He wants to fucking fight.
He legit doesn't care about money at all. At all. This guy is like a legit wild man, and I love it. These are the guys that you want in the sport forever. Mm-hmm. So, I love Tony. But with a guy like Dustin, like, dude, I know you want more money. You deserve more money. Absolutely. But when you, draw the line in the sand for a massive fight like this, think about the implications for this fight. You're going to be on the same card as UFC 254, Justin Gaethje versus Khabib. The winner of the Tony Ferguson-Dustin Poirier fight unquestionably deserves the next shot.
Yes.
You're going to get the next shot.
Yes.
So if you go out there and prove your worth against Tony Ferguson and you did beat Tony, or if you do beat Tony, you're the next guy in line. You get that rematch against Khabib, or you get to fight a fresh face in Justin Gaethje.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's I wish these guys would just try to draw the line in the sand more when you're the title holder and not,
a contender.
Before a contender. Because now, guess what? Dana, if you piss Dana off, Dana ain't gonna do you any favors.
No,
that's just who Dana is. Man.
And he's already moved on. Apparently, Tony's already been offered another fight, and Dana even came out at the Contender Series press conference and was saying, "Yeah, I just don't think Dustin wanted this fight with Tony." Yep. He's saying that to throw shade,
to throw shade and to piss him off.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
And he had to respond to that. He said, "That's bullshit. I want the fight. I love the matchup." It's like everyone does, dude.
Everyone does.
Tony Khabib's probably never happening.
No,
let's
not
be
going to
real.
happen.
Let's be real. It's probably never going to happen.
UFC 254 is close. It's already close, man.
Yeah.
It's already, October 18th or something around there?
I think the 24th.
24th?
Yeah, so the way it works was it starts at Fight Island with Israel Costa, then it's the 4 fight nights, and then Habib.
Yep, Saturday,
Gaethje ends it.
October 24th.
Yeah. So that would have been the card, dude. You Dustin Poirier, Tony Ferguson, and then Justin Gaethje, Habib. Could you imagine if Justin Gaethje beat Habib and then Dustin Poirier beat Tony? Like Dustin Poirier, after what Justin Gaethje did to Tony, he was very well matched up in that fight. He had a very good chance of finishing Tony and being the next guy. And you beat Justin.
You beat Justin, too. That's the biggest thing. That's kind of where...
Yeah, it's a squandered opportunity.
I know, and I love Dustin. I love Dustin Poirier, man. Like, he's the diamond. Like, how do you not like Dustin? But at the same time, it's like, bro, I wish you would just compromise a little bit just so when you do go and you can fight for the belt again, when you win that belt, you're going to be making buco bucks.
Yes.
You know, but I get it at the same time. They're trying to make more money, and it's a complicated issue.
Especially in Rona times.
We speak from the fan perspective.
Yeah.
Because we just want to see the damn fight so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's anyone on the face of the planet who doesn't want to see Dustin Poirier versus Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely.
Both of them just press the pace nonstop, and they get in each other's face and just throw hands and bang. I mean, who doesn't want to see that?
Yeah.
But
It's the fucking
not gonna
next
happen.
big thing since Tony Habib. Like, it's my number one most hyped fight since essentially that fight fell through.
Yeah.
It just sucks. It sucks. Tony's getting shafted. I don't know who he fights. I mean, there's so many potential opponents. And one that really intrigued me that even it was ESPN MMA that said this through I don't know if they said anonymous sources or some source. Someone said that they're really thinking about making Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chandler. And that shocked me, actually, when I saw that. So apparently the UFC is very close to actually making that fight. Dude, if that's the fight, fuck. I mean, that's a great fight, but it's like, fuck. It's just not the one I wanted.
It is a great fight, but I do worry for Tony's sake because if he does go out there and beat Michael Chandler, who was the Bellator champion.
Yes.
Right? Keep in mind.
Well, before he lost the Pitbull, but yes.
Right. But I don't think that does the same for Tony as far as getting the next shot guaranteed for the winner.
Absolutely.
And that's what sucks. I am so tired of the UFC and they didn't this last time. Tony lost the fight, but still against Gaethje. But I'm so tired of Tony Ferguson getting shafted. The guy's lost one fight in what? 8 years, 7 years, 8 years?
Yeah.
Like, dude, he's lost one fight. If you were to go out there and beat Michael Chandler, just give Tony the shot. Let him fight Habib. Let him get the rematch against Gaethje on a full camp. I mean, just, you know, and like Tony was doing the crazy thing, cutting weight, and then going out and fighting 2 weeks later, you know, because that's just who Tony is. He's crazy. He's bona fide crazy. I mean, not crazy in a bad way, but, you know, a little crazy.
A whole year ago, it was a little crazy in a bad way, but I think he's gone past that. Yeah, he's gotten past that.
You're going to go a little bit of that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It fucking sucks. It just sucks. I really wanted that fight. Chael Sonnen was saying that he thinks it needs to be Dan Hooker. He says that's the only name that intrigues me for Tony. And I fucking love that matchup. I love that matchup way more than Michael Chandler. Let's be real about that.
Okay.
Dan Hooker versus Tony Ferguson.
Hooker. I like that, actually.
Fuck, what a fight.
I like that.
What a fight that would be. And you know Tony, like, I know Tony's, some would say he's pretty good at jiu-jitsu, but, like, he's not going to fucking purposely take a guy down. He wants to stand and fuck someone up.
You know what's so irritating? It's like, when are you going to take Conor out of the rankings? Conor's
for
4.
Sure. Dude, fuck that guy, especially with all that shit we just talked about. Like, just get him out. Get him out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Dan Hooker would be the next guy.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. It's the name that's screaming at me. If it's not Michael Chandler or Dustin Poirier, you know, Dan Hooker screaming at me. So is like Paul Felder, a couple names like that.
The question is Poirier going to retire if he never gets the money that he wants? That's what makes no sense to me.
That's your move, really. Like, it's either
you're drawing the line. You're drawing the line in the sand with this move.
Yeah.
Because if you never get that money, then you're just never going to fight again.
Or you're fighting a lesser opponent or you're just fucked because you're fucking yourself. It's either you're right. You retire or you fight for the contracted money anyways, a lesser opponent. Yeah. That's not getting you a title shot right off the bat. Like,
I know, and that's
it just
where,
sucks.
I know, that's where it's just so confusing for me. And like, we don't know like the details, the behind the scenes with the managers and all that, but it's just like, what is the end game here? What is the end game?
Yeah.
At some point, you just got to go, okay, I got to take the fight. I got to compromise a little bit. And I think it's one of those scenarios, too, where Tony Ferguson is literally coming out and saying, hey, give him a little bit of my money. Help the guy out. Like, I want this fight to take place. So it's like, what is it then, Dustin?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here. I'm not for a second am I going to sit here saying that Dustin Poirier is scared of Tony Ferguson, because these guys aren't scared of anyone. They are the most alpha males on the face of the planet. No one is scared of anyone in any division if you're a professional fighter. But I got to ask, what is it then? Like, what is it? Literally just the money? Like, that's it?
Yeah,
because like
it might be.
If you might never get that, which means
they're
you might never
fighters.
fight again. I know, but
yeah, it sucks.
It does. It's just brutal. It sucks for the fans too, man.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. So
and again, I'm not saying Dana don't pay him. Dana pay him.
Pay him. Pay everybody.
Pay
everybody.
everyone,
Like, and that's the thing. It's like we say that every time. Everybody collectively deserves more money.
Yeah,
they deserve 10%. What was it? 12%. Something
of the
16%.
entire revenue of the UFC
it's
goes
terrible.
to the fighters. Yeah,
it's
which
terrible.
Is
it needs to be like at the fucking bare minimum. I would
30%?
say 30 or 25 or something. Like fuck, they're barely getting 20%. Like come on.
It's one of the most brutal sports. It is the most brutal sport in history. Like even football players don't. Which football again is excruciating.
Brain damage.
Yeah,
CTE,
17 weeks. Not including preseason, not including training camps and all that. But as far as like what you put your body through in one night, there's nothing that compares to fighting.
Absolutely.
And then training camps and getting popped every day and sparring. And I mean, these guys literally, like, not to be dramatic, but put their lives on the line, and they shave years off their life.
Yeah. You can't tell me that Joanna Jędrzejczyk and Zhang Wei Li, both those girls didn't deserve $5 million for that.
Yeah. For
Absolutely.
that performance. Yeah.
10
it was
million.
insane.
10 million.
I still think about that fight, and I'm not joking around. I will randomly throw that fight on. Still. And that happened way back in February?
Yeah.
January or February of
March.
this year? Was it March?
Yeah, it was March.
Really?
It was the Israel Yoel card. That was March.
Fuck, that must have been the last one right before
It
Rona
was.
hit.
That was right before Rona hit. The next week was fucking the first fights with no crowd.
Yeah.
And it was shocking. It's crazy to think about. Like, dude, that was what, like 6 months ago or something?
I know. Well,
we've been 6 months through this Rona shit.
Well, and the CDC just came out today and said that they're not expecting full vaccines until the end of 2021. So we could be dealing with this for another 2 years. Don't want to get on that topic.
I'm not taking no vaccine. Okay. This is another sad one. We're on a roll here. Navid Afkari. I didn't really know who this guy was until the news broke out.
He's a wrestling champion, man.
Was he like Olympian?
He was I think so.
I mean, he was only 27.
Yeah.
He's a very young guy, and apparently just went to a protest to show his support.
It was a peaceful protest too, and not the peaceful protest that you get in Portland, but the real, true, peaceful protest against what the government was doing there, and
it's awful in Iran.
They executed the man for going to a protest.
Yeah.
Okay? Let's put things in perspective here. And again, say what you will, there's so much political divide, there's so much nonsense that goes on in this country, but man, we are blessed to be American.
Yes.
We are blessed to have the freedoms that we have, especially when I see things like this egregious and despicable and gross fucking act by the Iranian government. Despicable.
So they said he got sentenced for double murder. He had 2 life sentences. He had 2 death sentences. They said that he murdered a security guard, which is apparently complete bullshit. Witnesses say it's bullshit. Everyone's saying it's bullshit.
Of course it's bullshit.
And, well,
that government lies. That's all they do.
And they said they got a full confession. And everyone's like, the only way you get a fucking confession is if you're torturing motherfuckers, which we know you do.
Of course.
So they tortured the man. They made him confess to a crime he did not commit, and then they killed him for it.
Yep.
Fuck Iran. Fuck the Ayatollahs. Fuck Tulimani or whatever the fuck that it's a president. Whatever the fuck they call it. We all know the supreme leader. He's calling the shots. Fuck them all. Dude, they're terrible. They're terrible. And they've been doing this shit for years. And I love that it's getting a big, I mean, it sucks. It's terrible. But people need to know about this shit. This shit happens every single day in these type of regimes. And it's like, fuck, no one knows. No one knows until it's someone like this, or it's a big deal, and it's like it's hitting multiple communities.
Well, and here's the thing: like I heard about this for a couple of weeks about how he was going to be, put to death, and
yeah, I had no idea till it happened.
And then when it happened, like I'm not joking around, and I really know nothing about this human being.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Like
about
I didn't follow his career, I didn't do any of that, but I had been hearing about it for weeks about how they were thinking, like he was sentenced to death, and then it just randomly popped up. That Iran put him to death. And dude, my like legit, even though I didn't know the man at all, my heart fucking sank into my pit of my stomach.
So
I was like, for going to a protest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just so great. And, you know, people want to say that, oh, we're fascists here in America, fighting this and that. And it's like, you guys have no idea what the fuck actually happens elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, we are so blessed and so fortunate. I'm not saying America's perfect, but God damn it, dude, we got a lot of fucking freedoms here.
Yeah. And we have it so much better than 90% of the world. And nobody realizes
it doesn't mean we don't strive to be better at all times. And that's what makes America great, is we constantly strive to be better.
Yes.
But at the same time, man, just be very aware that we are also very blessed to be here and to actually have freedom of speech. Because
absolutely.
A lot of countries, man, don't get it. And like just put someone to death.
Yes.
Over a peaceful protest. It sickens me.
You know, I mean, this isn't on the same level, but, you know, Australia's arresting motherfuckers for organizing protests right now. Anti-COVID protests. They're like, oh, you're a pregnant woman. I don't give a fuck. That's incitement. You're under arrest. This shit is going down around the world, guys. And, like, if people think this shit can't happen in America, fuck, man. It can. And it can happen fast. I mean, fuck, what? A dude was just murdered in Portland, a couple weeks ago just for wearing a hat? This shit happens. Guys, we cannot let this shit happen. I mean, it has to be condemned by everyone.
Legitimately, we're not as divided.
No.
As like what
as everyone
the mainstream
thinks
media, and this is not a political podcast.
No.
But we're not as divided as what people are, because you know what? Like, there are a lot of political disagreements as you and I have. There's a lot of political disagreement. I mean, we do it on the Fight Companions, where like we all disagree on political issues, but we're all fucking the best of friends, and we all talk and we all hang out. Yeah. It's not as divided as what people want to make it out to be.
Yeah, Twitter
there are people that I do not agree with on any facet politically, and I'm cordial and I'm friendly, and like I love those people. You know, family, friends, it doesn't matter. So it's like we are not as divided as people are making it out to be. Mm-hmm. And then when I guess it just puts all things in perspective when you see a man get executed for simply expressing what he believes.
Yeah, you can't take your freedoms and liberties for granted, people.
You can't, man.
Whew,
okay.
Easy as that.
Okay, moving on. Let's move on, because we got a lot to get through.
Yep. I'm gonna skip this. I'm gonna skip the Dana calling person. I'm gonna skip that. DC, he came out. It was DC Helwani. This was pretty quick. It kind of got brushed over in the podcast, and he talked about it for a little bit. But DC tested positive for the Rona during his training camp for his teammates.
That sucks.
Fucking sucks.
It sucks, but knowing DC, of course, he's going to push through that.
Yeah, and of course he didn't say anything. And I'm kind of glad he didn't say anything, but at the same time, I'm almost like, maybe he should have kept this to himself, because there's a lot of haters online, and they're already saying, oh, you're just making fucking excuses, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but that's not DC's character. He's not making it.
No, he's not.
Look,
it's just stupid.
Don't let your emotions get in the way of a fact. Okay. Now, if DC came out and said, "Oh, it affected my training camp, and I wasn't able to perform the way that I was performed because of this COVID,"
which he didn't say,
Which what?
He didn't say.
Oh, he didn't say. Yeah. So, but a fact is a fact. Yeah. He tested positive. That's it. It's not like he was making an excuse for it. He literally just said, I tested positive during my training camp.
Ariel asked him, and he said, a little bit. And it's the same thing. Cody Garbrandt, just tying this into it, just tested positive for Rona as well. Yep. And, he's got the big title fight, the flyweight title fight. He's got to cut a lot of weight, so he's probably not the best time to get it. But luckily, he's still got 6 to 8 weeks down, so we'll see. I mean, Cody was saying that it is affecting his training camp.
Yeah.
He's saying, I'm just slightly getting a little bit shortness of breath quicker. Mm-hmm. It's not affecting him too bad, but he says he does notice it.
Right.
So, I mean, if this stuff's affecting high-level athletes, it's not good.
Yeah, it's not good, but at the same time, fighters are fighters. And
they're going to live.
Yeah.
They're going to live. They're still going to fight.
When they're still going to fight. And that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest takeaway from that.
It's weird. I think there's, I mean, this is me just bullshitting. I have no idea. I'm not a fucking CDC or the WHO official or fucking a doctor, but I think there's got to be like different strains or like types of this virus, because like it's affecting people so differently. Like,
I think
some fighters,
I think
it doesn't
has
affect
been
them at all.
confirmed. And again, we don't regulate. We're not doctors. Listen to the CDC, whatever. But
maybe it's just different people.
There are different strains.
Yeah,
there are different strains. I think is what they've came out and said.
Yeah, and I think they said it's been mutating this whole time. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's a crazy time to be alive. It really is. Another test positive. Santos tested positive. So that fight is once again postponed. Fuck.
I know, dude.
I was looking
we
forward
gotta
to
have
that.
that fight, man.
Gotta have
a lot
that
of people
fight.
testing positive right now.
Yeah, it's too many. Way too many. So I guess to round off this MMA news stuff before we get into our preview show, this is the fight, dude.
I love it.
This is the fucking
love
fight.
it.
I talked
Come
about
on.
this division earlier,
Come
how much
on.
I love it. Rumors has it Zhang Wei Li versus Rose Namajunas is being targeted for 256 in December. Holy fucking shit.
Are you kidding me?
Holy
or
shit.
What?
I can't wait for that. I can't wait. Like, that's my main event of that card. I love Usman Burns. Don't get me wrong.
Of
I
course.
love Usman Burns, but that's my main event right there. And I possible fight of the year contender. You know Zhang. If Zhang comes out like that last fight, oh, fuck.
Oh, dude, this fight's going to be phenomenal. This fight's going to be just as good as the Joanna fight. That's my guess.
That's what I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm saying 5-round fucking war. You know, hopefully Rose doesn't wear that damage like she did in her last fight. It is a little soon, which has kind of shocked me because Rose is not one of these girls that consistently fought every 6 months these last few years, you know. So I was a little shocked when they made this announcement. I mean, it wasn't announced. It was a rumor, but when I heard it, I was shocked. Did not expect that. So I think, you know, they'll do this one real quick. Why not? It's a quick little shout out for the women's featherweight division. So did you watch the Contender Series? I didn't.
I didn't.
No, I didn't. I keep saying it every week. Every week I'm going to watch it, and I don't. Danielle Wolf. So apparently she's a 3-time national champion boxer. Made her professional mixed martial arts debut on the Contender Series. So apparently because she was a professional boxer, she cannot have an amateur career because she was already a professional in a combat sport. Yeah, so she had no amateur experience. So I'm sure she had years of sparring and stuff, but
That's probably why Connor got away with boxing Floyd right away, because he couldn't be an amateur boxer.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
That makes sense.
That's exactly right. He had to be a professional.
Yeah, because that one confused me a little bit, but okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's the rule. I don't know who makes that rule or whatever. I think it must be a law or something, so they don't have fucking professionals just going and beating the shit out of amateurs. I guess that makes sense. But she got signed after winning her fight. She won it by decision, so she went all 15 rounds.
15 rounds.
I'm sorry.
I was like,
Yeah,
what
15 rounds.
Wow,
It was a
this is
boxing
old
match
school
with
boxing,
MMA clubs. No, 15 minutes. It went all 15 minutes, and people were saying how that was the best thing that could have happened for her because it gave her all that good cage experience right off the bat. And the UFC signed her, dude. She's going to be a UFC featherweight.
Nice, good for
At
her.
1-0. So
Hell yeah.
I think what was the last time that happened? It was CM Punk, or was he 0-0?
Well, in the featherweight, we need more women's featherweights too.
Oh, yeah,
so
dude,
works for me.
Like a professional boxer, throw her in
Yeah.
there. Amanda Nunes right off the bat.
Yeah, no, don't throw her to that beast.
Who was the girl? Who was the boxer, the world champion boxer? That was kept on saying she wanted to fight Amanda. Clarissa Shields, right?
Yeah.
Isn't she like multiple weight class world champion boxer? Make that fight. Fuck it, I don't care. I'll watch her
Yes,
boxing.
yeah. I mean, I'll watch it at this point. Throw any girl to Amanda. I just
Seriously.
watch Amanda put her together. Good
Seriously. All right, preview show, Mason. Big card. UFC Fight Night. Vegas 12? Vegas 12, I believe.
Lord. Wow, Vegas 12.
These names are fucking me all up, dudes. Because it's like ESPN plus 38, UFC Vegas 12, Apex 11, blah, blah, blah. It's like, there's too many fucking names. Fight Night, whatever it is. Colby Covington, Tyron Woodley.
Really passionate about that, Tabes.
It's pissing me off. I don't know what to put. I don't know what the fuck to put. It's... This is a tangent now. Okay. Colby's coach.
This is like me with the ESPN Plus app, just flipping out about it. God. I don't know what to title these episodes. I have no idea. Please.
Just fucking pick a goddamn name already.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, there was a little bit of MMA news that really tied into this main event. So Colby's coach, his new coach, I should have wrote his name down. Who gives a shit? It's some gym I've never heard of, apparently. But Tyron was saying that this gym that he chose is a huge competitor in the area to ATT. So they probably jumped on the opportunity to get Colby.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, so fuck. That's a big name to get. And I don't know who else trains at this gym. I don't even know what it's called, but his coach is very confident coming into this weekend. He was saying that Colby's striking before wasn't even near the level of the striking he has now. He said he wasn't a natural southpaw. And that shocked me.
You know, hearing all this, and, you know, his striking is going to shock everyone. But are you going to say anything else as a head coach who just got a new fighter, who just
True.
got a very mainstream fighter in Colby Covington? Like, are you going to say anything else?
True. Well, he says the only reason
know.
he doesn't have any KOs is because a natural southpaw.
'cause
He was
he's
never
natural,
comfortable throwing his overhand.
But I mean, all I'm saying is I'm taking that with a grain of salt.
For real.
Because I mean, like,
For real, yeah. For real. But this matchup, dude, like I love what his coach is saying. You know, I've always kind of liked Colby's striking. It's not, I mean, it's Nick Diaz-esque. It's not 110% with every shot. It's not flatlining dudes. But you know what? He's putting on a fucking unbelievable pace the entire time. But if Colby's listening to this guy and going for the KO against Tyron, it's not going to be a good night for him, I think. I don't want to say if you're banging in the pocket with Tyron.
Yeah. Do what you do best.
Yes.
Take him down, wear him out in the clinch. Like, don't be trying to take his head off.
Yeah, push him up against the fence.
Yep.
Like he
Just
loves
outstrike
to
him and
let
outpace
people
him.
do.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, Tyron loves to like get back up against the fence and then circle outside.
Yep.
And wait for that big money shot.
Yeah.
You know, the big money shot came against Taryn Till. It came against Robbie Lawler.
But it hasn't came in his last 10 rounds of fighting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, something's got to change for Tyron, too.
Yeah, and let's be real. I mean,
And
Gilbert.
if this... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, well,
Go ahead.
well, Gilbert was saying, not Gilbert was saying, people were saying that, you know, Gilbert is an interesting matchup to compare Tyron to Colby because, you know, they have a lot of top pressure, but very different striking techniques. They say Gilbert's more of the power guy, and so he was a way more of a finishing threat with Tyron, which put him on that bit of a chess match mode. You know, and even Tyron himself, he's saying, I'm going to fucking throw hands against Colby. I'm going to let him go. He promised the fans he would, shockingly. I don't believe him, though.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If, you know, there's been a lot of talk circulating about, is Tyron Woodley motivated for this fight? Here's the thing. If this fight doesn't motivate Tyron Woodley, then what, and this is on the side of Tyron, but then what would he be doing? Like, this is a guy who he genuinely hates.
Yeah.
He hates Colby Covington. Colby Covington hates him.
Yes.
Right? They're not friends. They'll never get along in any world, in any alternate universe. They will always hate each other. It's like the John Jones DC effect.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, these two hate each other.
Yeah.
So, I know you say you don't agree with him, or you don't believe him, rather, but I don't know. Tyron might come out and try to take Colby's head off. This might be the one fight where I go, okay. Because if he doesn't,
I say
then
you're
he's going to get
done, dude.
outworked for 5 rounds.
Yes.
And he's going to lose in decision.
Yes, 100%.
So it's either you take his head off, you knock him out, you become that pressure guy, and you throw those big shots early, or you lose in 5 rounds. There's no in between, especially with a guy, you know, you look at Colby Covington and his fight against Robbie Lawler, who literally outstruck him like 300 strikes to
ridiculous
47
pace.
or
ridiculous
something crazy.
Pace. Put on a pace
insane.
of a flyweight. A flyweight type pace.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like at that point, like, you're not going to beat that guy. You're not going to out cardio. You're not going to outwork that guy. So, dude, and not only that, but you've seen how it's worked out for you for 10 rounds. When you're timid, when you're letting these guys control you with the top pressure and everything else, just go for it, Tyron. Because, dude, I'm telling you right now, matchmakers, odd makers, they got Tyron Woodley at a plus 290. We're talking about the former champ, one of the most dominating welterweight champs of all time. Yes, he's lost 10 straight rounds. But that does not mean that Tyron Woodley does not have the knockout capabilities to put out Colby Covington.
Yes.
Okay? And so all I'm saying is this is going to be a fun fight.
It's going to be a great fight. It's a very high hype fight. Like, there's a lot of fucking hype coming into this fight, and it's well deserved because this is a fight that should have happened 2 years ago. This is a fight everyone wanted 2 years ago.
Would have 2 years ago.
Yeah, for a belt.
This should have been for the belt.
This should have been for the belt.
Yeah.
You know, and the Kamaru fight was great.
It
was a fucking fantastic fight. I love that fight. It's just, it should have been Tyron first. This is the fight we really wanted, and we're finally getting it, guys. I can't fucking wait for this fight.
On a fight night of all things, too. Like, you figure this would be a co-main because it's not for a belt now.
Yeah.
A co-main on a pay-per-view. But no, we're getting it on a fight night.
Yeah, I can't wait. And for 5 rounds, it's everything we want as fans.
Absolutely.
You know, the cardio king is back. The fucking knockout guy hopefully is back. I mean, dude, like, I'm not going to say like if Tyron just comes out swinging, he's getting the KO guaranteed because Colby proved in that Kamaru fight, he's got a fucking fantastic chin, dude.
Absolutely. We're not taking anything away from Colby Covington. Yes. Say what you will about the guy, but this dude, his cardio is insane.
Yes.
He's got a great chin. He's super durable, and he just doesn't go away. He's
stop.
like a pesky gnat, you know, that you're just trying to swat away and you can't swat away, and then it's just slowly but surely building and building and building your irritation with him. I mean, that's who he is, and he's branded himself well doing that.
Yes,
and it's all an act. Like I've heard Colby's actually a pretty decent human being.
Oh yeah,
but
ask any military member he's spent time with, and they say, "Oh, he's the nicest guy I've fucking ever met."
You got to make your money, and he's doing the whole MAGA hat Trump guy with cringe.
It's the fucking new punk rock.
Yeah, the two bikini girls. But he's trying to make his money. He's trying to, because I mean, dude, if you're going to sacrifice your life and shave years off your life, you got to try to make some money.
Yes.
And both of these fighters have done that in their own way. Like Tyron Woodley, he's an actor.
Yes.
He's
rapper.
doing these, and he's a rapper now. And Colby's just doing his thing. Being Mr. America or whatever he's trying to do. So
yeah. He's doing his own thing.
I'm just so excited about this fight, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our predictions. How do you see this fight shaking out, Tabes? Because I peeked at your notes, and you got the same exact as me. So
yeah, I'm just going to say it right now. Colby Covington, unanimous decision. I just think the cardio is going to be too much. I think the pace of his strikes are going to be too much. I don't think he goes in there and tries to bang with Tyron because I really think that's the wrong way you need to approach this fight. Maybe his coach was just saying that to play those mind games, to try to get inside of his head to make him think, hey, maybe Colby will stand and bang with me, and then just gets grounded to the mat for 5 rounds. Who knows? I really do believe Colby has the wrestling capability to get Tyron down. I'm not going to say he's going to get him down in every single round. I'm not going to say he's going to win every round. But I definitely think he has the ability to do it for 3 at least. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be shocked if it was all 5 rounds again. Like, Tyron just hasn't proved that he can last or hang with these guys now. It's like, this isn't the same Tyron that we saw a few years ago.
No,
this isn't the same Tyron that beat Robbie Lawler. I mean, those Wonder Boy fights, I don't even want to think about those. Yeah. I don't even want to talk about those. This isn't the Tyron that knocked out Darren Till.
Right.
And maybe Darren Till played into his game, because Darren Till is a timid fighter. We keep saying that. So it's very hard for me to give Tyron this win. It is. So I'm going Colby Covington, UD. I think he's just going to be better on the ground. He's going to be better in the clinch situations. So
yeah, I mean, there's a ton to unpack here. One, as you said before, Colby Covington is not just going to go in there. Again, this is what Colby does so well. He's so smart. He's so calculated. And in a lot of ways, he plays 4D chess. Yeah. I think you are right on that coaching thing, where the coach is coming out and saying, oh, yeah, his striking's going to impress him. And then, boom, within the first minute, Colby Covington takes him down in the first round and just grinds him for those first 5 minutes. And Tyron's like, oh, wow, I got to wake up.
Yep.
I got to wake up. Like, this is not going to be good for me. Like, I'm already tired, and it's only the first round, know. I think Colby's smart in that aspect, in that way. Not only that, but I mean, the pacing of Colby, I don't think Tyron can handle that. Does Tyron Woodley have the capability to knock out Colby Covington?
Yes.
Absolutely. He's still got that power in his hand. Absolutely. But do I see that happening? No. I think, as you said, I am in complete agreement. I think Colby Covington wears on him. I think he wears on him all 5 rounds. And unfortunately, to Tyron Woodley, I don't think he can hang with Colby Covington. I think I think Covington wins decision.
Okay. If he gets dominated 5 rounds again,
retire.
Big if. You think so?
Yep, absolutely. He'll retire. There's
no way he does it. Do you think he does it in the ring, or does he wait like a month or 2?
He'll wait. He won't retire in the ring, but he'll retire.
That's gonna be a rough way, dude. 3 fights, 5 round fucking dominations. That's gonna be a rough way to go out.
But you know what? He could go out there and KO.
Yes, and then he's right back.
Covington,
and he's right back.
Or he could retire. One of the two.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wanted to. I mean, he's 39, 40 years old.
Yeah. I really thought that 185 move was coming, but really depends on this matchup. If this matchup goes positively for him, either way, I think he doesn't move up. I think 170 might be it till he retires. So
it has to be. What is there at 185 if you're not going to go and try to fight for a belt?
Yeah.
What is there?
Yeah.
Coming off 3 straight losses, even if you did move up to middleweight and won a few fights, what does that do for your legacy?
Yeah.
You still got to get that last win at welterweight. So.
Yeah. The only way he moves to 185 is if he actually legitimately thinks he's going to make a title run at it, and who knows if that happens. It all depends on this Saturday, and I can't fucking wait. It's going to be a great fight.
Let's talk about this co-main.
Yes. Donald Cerrone, Nico Price. This was announced Monday? Something like that.
Yeah, I know.
It was quick.
Wild.
Quick. They must have known because, like, or not. Fuck, both these men are the type of guys that take a fight like this on 1 week's notice.
Yeah.
Fucking 6 days notice. They don't give a fuck.
No, of
they
course
want to
not.
bang.
Yep.
They want to fight. I'm a little shocked by this matchup. I'm not going to lie. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I really love this matchup. But Nico Price, man, he's a big 170. He's not a small guy. And Donald Cerrone was just making 155 a few fights ago. So I don't like this matchup for Donald.
I hate this matchup for Donald.
I
Nico
don't like
Price
it.
goes out there in the first 10 seconds, he'll try to knock you out.
Yes.
Donald Cerrone is notorious. We have known this. He is a slow starter. Okay, and it completely showed you in that McGregor fight. That, I mean, we knew this before because it's been in his career. The first round's never great for Donald. But, man, he is a slow starter. This is a terrible matchup, in my opinion, for Donald Cerrone.
I agree.
Because Nico Price, as soon as that bell rings, he wants to take your fucking head off,
Yes.
man. He does. And it scares me. It scares me at this point in Donald Cerrone's career that he's taking a fight like this, you know, on such short notice. You almost got to start asking, what is this for? And what does this do for his career and for his legacy?
I don't think it does much for his legacy. I mean, I love Nico Price. I love the name, and I do think a win over Nico Price might get him a top 15 matchup at the welterweight division, but it's like, why? Yeah. Now I'm just asking why. And there's not a lot of fighters I say this about, but I think Donald is quickly becoming one of them. I don't want to say he needs to retire now because I don't think he needs to. I definitely think he still has some tread on the tires. You know, I just keep asking why.
Well, let's talk about this, too. I don't know if you know this statistic, but since 2017, Donald Cerrone has had 12 fights. Mm-hmm. He has lost 8 out of those 12 fights.
Yeah, it's not a good statistic.
He is 4-8 since 2017.
And you got to remember, he started off fucking like 16-3 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, man.
Right.
The run this man had in his heyday is fucking legendary.
Yeah, and no
Hall
one
of
can ever
Famer.
take that away from him.
No one.
And Donald Cerrone, of course, is unquestionably a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
But at this point, you know, it's such a scary fight for him to take. I don't know if I'm a big fan of this, and on short notice, too.
Yes.
I mean, what, a week's notice? Like, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
But again, great opportunity for Nico Price to go out there and get a win in a dominant win. And if he goes out there and KOs Donald Cerrone, that's huge for his career.
absolutely. Absolutely. Huge. He gets a top 15 matchup. He's probably ranked after that fight. You know, so many big names are going to be okay, you know, maybe we could help. We could do something with this Nico Price guy. And Nico Price, like, he might not be known for the casuals. I don't think he's really a casual guy, but fuck, these hardcores fucking love Nico. And shout out to Nico because he tweets at us. He recognizes this podcast. Friend of the fucking show.
Friend of the show. Nico is a friend of the show.
First round TKO, Nico Price. I'm going with him, dude. I just think he's going to be too much too quick.
I think you're right on the money there. But I don't want to go first round. I think Donald survives the first round. I think it's going to be close. He might be on his rocker going into that second. And I think Nico Price gets a job done. KO second round.
Yeah, kind of like a Jorge Masvidal situation. You know, almost gets finished in the first and then gets finished in the second. Yep. Be rough. It'd be rough for my guy because I think Donald is one of these guys that deserves to take a fight while he's already in the Hall of Fame. Like, think about it. Not many guys did that. BJ Penn. That's the only one I could think of. I'm sure there's others. But it's like, you know, he's such a legendary guy. Get him in the Hall of Fame already, and then let him take one last fight against somebody that's a big name.
Yeah.
But
give him a legacy fight.
Exactly. Give him a big legacy fight. The Anthony Pettis fight he just had, you know, he didn't look that great in it, but it was a good fight. Yeah. It was a fucking fantastic matchup. I love that matchup. I just don't like this one for him, unfortunately. So,
Khamzat Chimaev versus Gerald Meerschaert.
This one. You could almost make arguments this could have been the main event. Or not the main event, the co-main event.
Yeah,
you could have made arguments because this man, not only on our YouTube channel is he fucking going viral, but just everywhere.
Everywhere.
You mentioned this guy. You mentioned Khamzat Chimaev. It's going fucking viral.
And how does it not? How does it not? I have never seen, and Dana White thinks the exact same way, I have never seen a fighter so dominant in my life. Mm-hmm. I have never watched a man and go, there's no one that's going to beat this guy.
Yeah.
And maybe we're getting behind the hype train too much. But I mean, I have never seen this. I've never seen this from the UFC president before, that he literally schedules his fighter to have
crazy.
not one, but 2 fights. He's already scheduling him for Damian Maia after he goes out and fights Gerald Meerschaert. That's insane. That's insane to me. That just goes and shows that like Dana has complete and utter confidence that Khamzat Chimaev is going to go out there and just cause mayhem against Gerald Meerschaert. I mean, that's insane. I mean, look at the Vegas odds here. Chimaev is a minus 400 favorite against Gerald Meerschaert at a plus 320. It's insane, dude.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's crazy against a guy who was literally going to take a fight at 205.
Mm-hmm.
Gerald Meerschaert's not we said this last week.
No.
Not a small
Not a
185.
small guy at all.
He's a big fucking guy.
Yeah.
And Khamzat Chimaev's a guy that makes 170, makes it good. Probably should be fighting there. A lot of people think he should be making his run there and has his best chance at a title shot at 170. But this motherfucker's like, fuck that. I want to fight at 1 week's notice, and I can't make fucking 170 at 1 week's notice, but I will make it on 2 weeks' notice after making 185 already and fucking this other dude up. The mentality is unreal.
Well, and this guy just isn't talk either.
Yes.
He doesn't just say things and then not take fights and then dilly-dally around. No, he says, no, I want to fight every week.
And I'll smash
That's what he
him.
says.
I'll smash them all.
Every week. Mm-hmm. And then, boom, he signs a contract within a week to a higher weight class than what he even is. And fighting a guy who fought at light heavyweight. Or almost fought at light heavyweight. It's just like, it's insane. Dude.
Yeah.
This guy literally will fight anyone, anytime. And those are the kind of fighters that we want to see in this organization. Like, these get the fans just pumped up.
Yes.
Dude, when I saw this card, I could not believe it. I could not believe this was a fight night. And then to have Chimaev on this card, too, I'm just like, sign me up.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the icing on top. Dude.
UFC, I would have paid you guys $65 for this
Yes.
card. I don't know
Yes.
what you guys are doing. This should have been a pay-per-view, unquestionably. It's incredible. I am so pumped for this fight. I cannot wait.
Yeah, can't wait. Chimaev, and apparently people have nothing but good and respectful things to say about this guy. He's a good guy. They just put out an Instagram video of him walking up to some homeless dude in Vegas and going, hey man, are you hungry?
Yeah, that's
walked
super
over to
cool.
McDonald's, bought him fucking food, hung out with him for a minute, made him feel like a real person, and then said, and he was actually mad that they recorded him and posted it online. He's like, that's not the type of guy I am. I'm not trying to do that stuff. So just makes me happy.
Here's the thing. When you are as big a savage as Khamzat Chimaev is, you don't need to like put on this image of like, oh yeah, I'm the tough guy, I'm this and that. You don't need to, because I smash. And he does. That's all he needs to do. Like, that's all he needs to prove. He doesn't have to prove to any human being on the face of the planet, because everyone is scared and terrified of this man.
Yes.
I wouldn't even look him in the eye if I shook his hand. I'd be terrified. I'd look down and be like, sir, don't hurt me. Like, that's it.
Please don't smash me.
Please no smash. I no competitor. I no smash. Okay? You smash me? No.
Yeah, you know who I don't see buying McDonald's for homeless people? Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor with all that money.
So maybe we should have let Khamzat fought this fucker. All right. So I got to give you a pick, dude.
Yeah.
I'm on the hype train. I'm sorry, Gerald. We haven't even talked about you.
Sorry, bro. And it's not like he's a bad fighter. He's a great fighter.
Great fighter.
He's got a phenomenal record on top of that.
Yeah,
31-13. Like, this guy's no chump.
He's won a lot of UFC fights.
has.
And he's fought in top
competitors, yeah.
So, he hasn't done the best his last few fights. He's one of these guys people would say he's a journeyman, but the guy, he's not even that old. It's hard to say he's a journeyman. He's just taking a lot of fights. Yeah. So, and he's a jiu-jitsu savage, a black belt, a guy who has submissions off his back. So, I mean, if there's anybody, and he has great striking as well, knockout power, if there's anybody that could beat Khamzat Chimaev, it's a Gerald Meerschaert.
It is, and he could catch him in a submission. He could catch him in an arm bar. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a very interesting matchup. But like I said, I'm on the hype train. I am. Khamzat Chimaev, second round KO. I think somehow this fight finds a way to stay on the feet, and people are going to be shocked by this man striking. I've seen videos of him flatlining dudes when the wrestling doesn't work. I think this might be one of those moments.
Alrighty. Well, I have a first round Chimaev KO, but I think it goes a little different. I think he takes him down, and I think he just smashes him. I think that's what it is. I think it's the ground and pound. That top pressure is just something that we've never seen before in the UFC as far as pure and utter dominance. I think he's able to get that done against Gerald Meerschaert. Yeah. So I have Chimaev first round.
Yeah. KO. So if it's a big win, if he doesn't take a lot of damage, we all know the Damian Maia fight's probably going to happen maybe a few weeks later. I mean, they're going into Fight Island not this weekend, but the weekend after, guys. This shit's happening fast, so it could be 2-3 weeks we get the Damian Maia fight.
Could be.
You know, maybe 4 or 5. Maybe they put it on the Habib Gaethje card to round off Abu Dhabi.
I'd love that.
I would love it. You know,
That'd be
give
awesome.
the man 6 weeks to prepare for Damian Maia. That's probably ample time. And it's
yeah.
but Damian Maia.
It's Damian Maia,
okay,
yeah.
ample time for Damian Maia. 6 weeks. Okay, but maybe it is. Who knows? Who knows? Can't fucking wait for the future. Johnny Walker, Ryan Spann. This fight was probably the hardest fight for me to pick on this entire card, for sure. This fight is a fight between a guy. I mean, Ryan Spann's what, on an 8-fight winning streak?
Yeah.
Or a 7-fight winning streak? Something ridiculous like that. Since he's gotten to the UFC, he's just found a way to put the wins together. So I'm very high on Ryan Spann. He's doing great. He's looking phenomenal. He's not fighting the toughest competition at 205 right now. But I mean, dude, you got to build up somewhere. And now he's getting a huge fucking test after that split decision, after that war with Sam Alvey. I mean, he's getting a huge test in Johnny Walker. And, you know, Johnny Walker, he might have gotten forgotten after that last loss, but fuck, I think this hype train could definitely be reignited with a win. It's such an interesting matchup because Johnny Walker looked a little timid in his last fight, and he can't fight that way, I think. I think he needs to be the explosive, dynamic guy that he was when he fly-kneed Misha Serkinov in the first round. When he spinning back fist, I don't remember that guy's name, but he fucked him up in the first round. Like, that's the Johnny Walker that we need to see for him to be successful in the UFC, I think. And the Faraz Sahabi camp, I don't know if that lasted. I don't think he's training up at TriStar right now.
No, he's been training a bunch of different places.
That could be a
His
good
camp
thing or
has
a
never
bad
been
thing.
consistent.
Yeah, that's probably a bad thing then, especially if he doesn't have that consistent head coach.
Yeah.
You know, so fuck, that might change my pick. That might change my pick because I'm taking Johnny Walker 3rd round KO. I'm just going to keep it just because Ryan Spann, in that Sam Alvey fight, I really believe that should have been a fight he should have won, and he probably should have won by knockout, but it's just he was getting hit, man, and he was allowing Sam Alvey to hit him. Yeah. And I don't think you could do that with Johnny Walker. If you get into a fight like that with Johnny Walker, it's probably not going to end well for you. Yeah. So I'm going to take Walker 3rd round KO. I'm just going to leave it with that.
So I'll Johnny Walker, interesting individual, interesting fighter. One of those guys that everyone was on the hype train of, and this is kind of the Johnny Walker effect. Is one of the things that I use. You know, this guy was so dominant at one point where he was KOing dudes in the first round. Anytime Johnny Walker was on a card, I was fucking pumped because I knew a knockout was coming. Yeah. Do I still think he has that capability? Absolutely. He's a young guy. Yeah, for sure. Here's the issue. Here's the biggest issue I have with Johnny Walker. If you get this guy out of the first round, he's toast. He's toast McGoats. He has no cardio. He really doesn't. His cardio is awful. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's really not good. And if he doesn't get that addressed and he doesn't train, he doesn't blow his whole load in the first round, and he doesn't address this issue, then we are gonna continue to see Johnny Walker lose fights by decision over and over and over again. And I think that's the biggest thing that I have with Johnny Walker right now. Do I think he's a phenomenal fighter as far as knockout capabilities? Is he dynamic? Is he fun to watch? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But you get him out of the first round, and you already know you've won the fight.
Yeah.
You already know you've won the fight. I think Ryan Spann knows that as well. I really do. I think Ryan Spann knows that. I think he's going to work it. He's going to work in. I have Ryan Spann winning this fight. I really do. Not that I think Johnny Walker's terrible or anything anymore, but there's just something that I'm seeing now in Johnny Walker's game that I have not seen him address yet. I haven't seen him address it. So if he doesn't get that knockout in the first round, then I have Ryan Spann winning. I'm actually going to change this. I have Ryan Spann winning decision.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great pick. It's a great pick because he can most definitely out-cardio him. I mean, he's shown that he can go 3 rounds at least, multiple times. So, interesting. Okay, Mackenzie Dern, Randa Marcos, another strawweight fight. I love this division. Mm-hmm. I specifically really, really enjoy Mackenzie Dern. Not only is she fucking gorgeous, but she is just so talented on the ground, dude. And she's showed such improvements in her striking, dude. Like, this girl is fucking improving with every fight. I mean, yeah, she had the Rebos wall. Yeah. But I mean, that's gonna happen. Rebos is fucking special. Yeah, that's gonna happen. And you could totally rebound from that. This is a very interesting matchup. Randa Marcos. I really like Randa. And I don't want to talk shit about her, but I don't think she's had a 2-fight winning streak in the UFC.
Yeah, it's been a very tumultuous career.
It's literally been
her.
win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win.
But again, I mean, she was fed, to Rebos as well. She fought Claudia Gadelia.
She's fought them all.
She fought Angela Hill and beat
Yes.
Angela Hill.
Yes.
Last year. So, I mean, she's not undeserving to be in this division, but it
Yes.
is tough. This division's real tough. I mean,
It's
you got to
tough.
be the elite of the elite in this strawweight division.
Absolutely. It's rough to have a positive record in this division. So it's a little bit of an interesting matchup. I kind of like Randa Marcos on the feet in this fight. I'm not going to lie, even with the improved striking of Mackenzie Dern, but we all know that the specialty of Dern is that jiu-jitsu, that Brazilian jiu-jitsu, dude. That shit is it's just such a high level. Like, there's not a lot of girls with this high level of jiu-jitsu in the strawweight division. So I'm going to give Mackenzie Dern every advantage on the ground, and I'm going Mackenzie Dern first round sub.
Alrighty. I also agree with that. I do see Mackenzie Dern getting the win, but I see her getting the win decision.
Okay. Alrighty then. To round off the main card, last fight we are picking Kevin Holland and the dentist, Darren Stewart. Very interesting matchup at 185. Remember, I was calling for that Kevin Holland versus Hazmat Chimaev fight. I thought that was the matchup you make because Kevin Holland beat Gerald Meerschaert.
Yep.
So, fuck. Both these guys get a win?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why not? Unless maybe you're thinking future matchups, because Kevin Holland's another guy that fights at 185 and 70. And he wants to make runs in both divisions, and he doesn't give a shit. He'll fight anybody. So it's like these two guys they might be mirror images of themselves, but completely different styles, obviously. But at least in mentality, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I like Kevin Holland. I really like Kevin Holland. Dana White call him Loudmouth. He'll probably always have that nickname forever.
Probably.
And he loves talking shit. He's a great talker. I really like, you could almost compare him to Israel, I would say. He loves talking shit, and he's great at it. And he's pretty eloquent, too. So, really like Kevin. I like Darren, too. I really like Darren. This is a rough matchup for me to pick. Fuck. Darren's got great power. And he showed in that last fight, that Maki Patola fight, he's got great squeeze.
Yeah, he does.
He's got very legit submissions.
That was a tight submission. That was not going anywhere.
Very fast tap.
He was good. Yeah, I knew he was going out right away.
Yeah, very fast tap. It didn't take long. It was probably pressure on the neck. I would fucking tap too. I don't blame Maki there. But you know what? One thing I will say against Maki was finding success with his shots with Darren. Darren did crack him and then found the way to get the guillotine, which was what led to the win. But he was letting Maki hit him. And Kevin's has very fast hands for 185. I mean, he makes 170, so he's very fast. He's going to have the speed advantage, I think. I'm going Kevin Holland, second round KO. I think he finds a way just to land, and it might just make that chin just crumble just a littlest bit. I think he gets the finish in the second round.
Okay. I like Darren Stewart in this fight, man, and as all the points that you made, and I do agree with a lot of those, but I'm kind of I like Darren Stewart. I'm gonna pick Darren Stewart decision.
Alrighty then. So
plus he's a plus 200, so I'll get that extra point
shit.
if he does win.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. There's a lot of, think about it. There's 3 chances really for that extra point, but we're taking favorites every time.
Yeah.
I guess besides you, really. That was the only time for that extra point. Interesting. All right, well, final segment of the show before it's all over, guys. New to the show, first week doing it. Quick shout-outs. Mason, do you got anybody you want to shout out?
No.
Okay.
I have no shout-outs.
The Cowboys win?
No, they didn't. Shout out to Dak Prescott getting the job done. That's what I like to see. The Cowboys, my team, going 8-8 again this year. 2020 might be inconsistent, everyone, but one thing that stays consistent is the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones, you do know how to run an organization. I love you guys. Zeke, you're awesome. You're amazing. Keep running the ball. Keep doing what you're doing. And the season's still young, boys.
Yeah.
We only have to win 8. We only have to win 8.
8-8 and that city burns. It's like Cleveland all over again.
I'm not getting my hopes up for this season. That's all I'm gonna say.
I heard that I only saw one play, I think, from that whole game. It was a highlight of Zeke getting tossed like a fucking child by
This
Aaron
is why
Donald.
I play fantasy football, because if I didn't play fantasy football, then I would just hate football, because I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan since the day I was born. Okay, you got to understand, it's been 27 years since they won a Super Bowl. I'm 26. I've never seen my team win a Super Bowl. You know what's even worse? My brother is a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I got to see him cry because his team won a Super Bowl. I've never got to experience that. And I'm gonna go crazy one day.
Yeah.
I'm never going to see the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. So my shout outs to the Dallas Cowboys. Keep it up, boys. I love you. Even though I hate you, I love you. It's one of those things. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yep,
So.
everyone's got one of those. Yeah, I didn't cry.
You just had to bring up the Cowboys, didn't you prick?
Yeah, I knew they lost too. I didn't cry when Russell Wilson threw that interception, but god damn it, I felt like shit.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it. Shout out. I got two quick ones. First one is Ginger and the Beard podcast, guys, on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. They're a great podcast. They just talk about MMA. They do an MMA spin-off podcast of their original stuff. They talk about a whole bunch of stuff. They gave us a shout out a few weeks ago. I gave them one earlier. They're always hitting us up on Instagram. So shout out you guys. Oh fuck, I had your names. I totally forgot them. I'm sorry.
That's embarrassing. You should have wrote them down.
Now I feel like
You're
an
a
asshole.
jackass. You're a real jackass, Dabes.
No. Shout out Ginger and Beard. You guys know who you are.
We shouted out the podcast.
yeah.
You know, that's all that matters.
God, I can't believe I forgot their name. That's so funny.
Fucking turtle.
You just need to go back into your shell, bro.
Yep. Also, somber note. Shout out my dog Lila. Fucking tragic Saturday night. You know, you were my best friend. I love you. So
R.I.P.
shout out. Yep. R.I.P.
You'll be remembered.
Oh, yep. Absolutely. So another one, Mason.
Another one.
Another one in the books. So remember, everybody, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. We are posting funny memes. We are making you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Check out our YouTube channel too, guys. We just hit 100 subscribers. Our next goal, let's hit 200 subscribers. Let's do it in a month or two. We love the fact that you guys are checking that out. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Church of MMA. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen.
Peace.